The best of Money Matters. Right Business.
Welcome to The Right Business, where we dive deep in the stories of trailblazers who dare to disrupt the status quo, find the gap in the market to find the right business. Hello, I'm Hongbin Jeong. Now, menopause is a natural and transformative phase of life, but for many, it remains a topic shrouded in mystery and often surrounded by stigma. As women go through this transition, they face a range of physical, emotional, and mental challenges. And despite its inevitability, menopause has often been underrepresented in healthcare conversations, leaving many without the proper tools, support, or information they need to navigate it effectively. So this is where Surety steps in. Surety is bridging the gap by offering tailored solutions, expert resources, and a supportive community for individuals going through this phase. So to share more about their mission, the solutions they offer, and the impact they're having on the menopause journey, joining us today are Valery Tan, who is a CEO and co-founder, and Elmer Yap, who is a COO and co-founder of Surety Singapore. Welcome both to the show.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Valery, maybe we could start off with you here. I mean, you've mentioned how your mother's experience with perimenopause and menopause inspired you to start Surety. Can you share more about how this personal experience shaped your decision to create a platform dedicated to helping women in this life stage?
Definitely. I think it was really a coincidence where this happened, where she became like the reason why I started. So honestly, Surety started as a contraception platform. Mm-hmm. So upon like researching, there were multiple competitors ahead of me. And coincidentally, my mom actually told me about her period that was missing for like 6 months. And I was like, there's something wrong, see your doctor. And she did. And that's when we found out the term perimenopause. She was yet to be menopause.
Okay.
So it became like an aha moment for me. So in essence, my mom's journey through menopause became a turning point for me. She faced mood swings, hot flashes, as well as sleepless nights. And there were really few resources or support systems available to help her navigate these changes. And, seeing her going through these changes alone, I realized how taboo of a topic perimenopause is. So in many cultures, especially Asia. So, the lack of conversation, the inadequate support actually inspired me to create Surety. So essentially a platform to provide tools to manage perimenopause, menopause, and midlife changes, while fostering a community for women to share their stories and access to expert guidance.
Well, Elmer, you also have a personal connection to menopause through your own mother as well. How did you witness, how did witnessing her struggles kind of influence your role in the creation of Surety?
Yeah, I mean, when Valery shared me her struggles with her mother, it made me reflect on how I personally, experienced my mother going through menopause as well. She was having various symptoms like mood swings and sleepless nights. And really, I think this is not something that we think about every day. I think much less for me as a guy. It really made me realize how underserved this space is. So my mother, after, we talked about her struggles, she often felt isolated because, she didn't feel that menopause was something talked about openly. She had no one really to share to, even her relatives, her loved ones. So it was really a gap in awareness and knowledge about what this stage of life encompasses. So this really motivated me to co-found Surety together with Valery to really look at how we can better enable and empower women to really embrace this phase of life and really know more about the changes that are happening to their body, right? So I think one of the key things of this era is that we want to leverage technology. So really making accessible tools that are available on mobile, on the web, so that, no one else, or rather lesser women will really feel the isolation and problems that my mother and Valery's mother have experienced.
I see. It seems like there were a lot of gaps in the market to be addressed before Surety came and stepped in. I mean, let's talk more about Surety. Elmer, your app is aimed at helping women track symptoms and access healthcare providers. Could you share more about its features and what sets it apart from other, health apps available in the market?
Sure. I think PausPlay in general really is a platform with a comprehensive suite of features tailoring specifically to perimenopause and menopause. So one of the key features is that women can log their symptoms daily. So there's a variety of symptoms that women face, and really some of them are even not really well researched. So the idea is that you're able to log your symptoms, such as hot flashes, sleep quality, mood changes, so that you can identify a pattern and also receive recommendations on what is the appropriate treatment option, medication, etc. that you can take. And there is also the access to educational resources that are relevant to you. So, for example, if you're experiencing things like sleep quality issues, we do have partner providers who can help with that through either mental counseling, right, or some supplementation that you can take in order to really help with these symptoms. So what sets it really apart from the available options in not just in Asia but also beyond Asia is that we are culturally sensitive in that we emphasize on combining lifestyle advice with professional care in the Asian context. So we really blend in Asian treatments like CCM, etc. to really make sure that we are really fully encompassing all the available options that are available in the market.
I see. Seems like a lot of research and thought has been gone through just to create this app. So, Valery, how did you decide, what functionalities and tools to include in this app? And how do you ensure the app remains user-friendly and accessible for older women? Did you get feedback from your own mother?
Well, we're still, working on that. So we actually conducted a fair bit of user research with women in their 40s to 60s to understand their challenges and preference. So the functionalities such as your symptom tracking, expert advice, and a healthcare directory were chosen based on their feedback and needs. So we also look to prioritize accessibility by using clean design, semi-large fonts, and intuitive navigation. So regular user testing, is really used to ensure that the app remains easy to use, and even for women who are not very tech-savvy.
I see. I mean, Valery, you've also created a space for women to share their experiences and seek advice through your menopause festivals. What role do these events play in addressing the stigma and lack of open conversation around menopause?
Well, I'm really proud to have done the Menopause Festival, first ever in Singapore, to pioneer something like that. I think it kickstarted something. So, our recent is considered an large-scale event. It provided an empowering space for women, male allies, as well as allied professionals to come together to innovate and bounce off ideas and, of course, create a safe space for women to share their stories and connect with others who understand their journey. So, this event hopes to normalize conversations around perimenopause and midlife, helping to break the stigma. And, we also feature expert panels, workshops, as well as community discussions. And this all aims to educate and inspire women to embrace this phase of their life with confidence and support. And of course, aside from Menopause Festival, we have our smaller scale events such as our current mental wellness campaign. And we will have a series of events such as your nature walk, strength training, and these are all for our community.
Amazing. That sounds very exciting. You're making menopause more fun. I mean, when women experience menopause, they go through hot flashes, mood swings, and disrupted sleep during this time of their life. So, Elmer, could you explain what kind of key features your app offers that, provide support for these common symptoms?
Yeah, definitely. Like I discussed previously, the key feature is really the symptom tracker that really you can log and monitor your symptoms. The best thing is that, from this logging, you can identify patterns and also take note of, when is a trigger period, what triggers, right? And you can bring this report and really use it to help get a better second opinion, whether is it through a medical professional or another allied healthcare professional that you want to seek more help from. And this can really help you get better diagnosed in your perimenopause or menopause phases and also receive the appropriate treatment options for yourself. And I think one of the things that we also accompany with is the menopause rating scale, where you are able to evaluate, the severity of your menopause and really identify on, is it menopause or not?
I see. Well, then, Elmer, in what ways does Surety's platform empower women to, take control of their health rather than just being, reactive to symptoms? How does your product enable proactive management of menopause?
I think proactive measures is very, very key to the whole menopause experience, because we do see research and really from our own personal interviews that adjusting your diet and increasing physical activity can actually influence the severity of menopause symptoms. So we actually get women who have a better diet and a lot more active actually having less severe symptoms as they progress through the menopausal phase. So really, I think what we do here is not just to educate the women who are currently going through menopause, but also for the younger women, we also try to convey evidence-backed information as well as content for them to learn more about, how can I better prepare myself for this phase of life? And also for the women currently going through menopause, how can I better manage the symptoms that are upcoming, right? So the combination of information as well as the recommendations that you get from not just the application, but also from the product or service providers really helps that proactive management.
I see. Well, it seems like Surety's approach seems to integrate both lifestyle advice and healthcare. Valery, then how does the app kind of incorporate this balance between self-care, symptom tracking, and a directory of healthcare providers and services?
Well, I think they all come hand in hand. And you're right. We believe that, perimenopause / midlife management requires a holistic approach. So the app actually combines practical self-care tips, such as your diet, exercise suggestions, with the symptom tracking to help women better understand their health trends, right? Our directory connects them to users, to specialists, ensuring that they have access to professional care when needed. So how does this work? So essentially, it just means that, when you track your symptoms, you input certain symptoms, and then you get recommendations from it. And this is how the self-care portion comes in and the directory comes in. Okay. So everything is a balance. It's a balance to empower women to address both their immediate symptoms as well as long-term health goals.
And it's all in one.
It's all in one.
Well, Valery, earlier we spoke about this menopause festival. I mean, it sounds like it's been an incredible initiative bringing women together to share their stories. Well, I just want to dive in deeper about it. How have you seen the power of community, change the way women approach menopause through these festivals?
It's been incredible. So the community aspect has been transformative. I have met many, many women who often tell us that simply by knowing that they are not alone in this journey has been a huge relief. And, the festival actually kind of created a foundation to provide a platform for collective learning, mutual encouragement, and as well as breaking down cultural barriers around the word perimenopause and menopause. So I feel like the festival definitely has sparked a ripple effect. It encouraged women to discuss it more openly with their families and even in their workplace. So it's really extremely heartening for me, whenever I meet up with these ladies, who have been to this event. And when I meet them outside for coffee meets, they would tell me how grateful that they are that we have decided to make this happen. And, for sure, it actually takes two hands to clap. So I will always tell them I am also really grateful for them for turning up on a Saturday and, making that time and taking the effort to be present.
I see. I mean, breaking the stigma one step at a time there. Elmer, you guys have also included underprivileged women in your events as well, offering them tickets in partnership with social service agencies. Why is it so important for Surety to be inclusive in this way?
Yeah, inclusivity is really at the core of Surety's mission. Menopause impacts women of all social economic backgrounds. There really isn't discrimination there. So really access to resources is often limited for underprivileged women. So research has also shown that social economic factors such as education, employment, and income can affect menopausal symptoms, partially due to related factors like stress or healthcare priorities. So really, I think the heart of Surety's mission is really to improve access to these menopause-related resources through the content, short-form contents, articles, reels that can be digested easily, and also lifestyle advice, as was mentioned previously. So really, by partnering with these social service agencies, it's not just offering free tickets, but also access to products and services. We want to ensure that all women, regardless of circumstances, have the opportunity to really benefit and learn more about their body.
Amazing. I mean, we're now approaching the end of our interview here. So, Valery, what's next for Surety? Are there any specific regions or markets you're particularly excited to expand to? Or do you have any new products or services in the horizon?
We do. What a lovely question. So we are looking to expand into other parts of Southeast Asia, where cultural stigma around perimenopause and menopause is still so prevalent. Markets like Malaysia, Indonesia, as well as Taiwan are like top priorities. They have significant population of like midlife women, and they have aging population. So definitely they could benefit from our resources and community. I think the other exciting and a more specific development is the Menopause Festival in KL. This is set in October 2025. Details are still very much in discussion. So, but do stay tuned. But otherwise, we do have smaller scale events, such as the International Women's Day 2025 in March and Midlife at Work in April.
Amazing. Looks like it will be a busy 2025 for Surety.
Really excited.
And Elmer, before we let you both off here, final question for you. How do you see Surety scaling beyond Singapore, and what strategies will you use to ensure that the platform resonates with, women across different cultures and regions?
Yeah, I think similar to many startup founders in the region, I think scaling Surety beyond borders involves really localizing our offerings for the real different markets that have different cultures, right? Different experiences, different initiatives that are already available, and really navigating the local business and medical regulations. So I think our audience, really women going through midlife and going to go through midlife, these are at the heart of basically what we do in our initiatives. And really we want to involve more women in our initiatives to really create a platform that feels relevant and inclusive. And we have actually already kickstarted some of our connections overseas, like the Menopause Festival in KL, to really set the foundation of some of our multi-language and multi-country offerings.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much both for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was Valery Tan, who is the CEO and co-founder, and Elmer Yap, who is the COO and co-founder of Surety Singapore. This has been The Right Business with me, Hongbin Jeong.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.